Shocking execution-style shooting on Regent Street caught on CCTV. LINDENER blocks bridge in protest of mandatory vaccination. Captain of the stranded Trinidadian sailors set the record straight. In the region, Brazil Congress votes against return to paper ballots, and internationally, U.S. COVID surge, more children affected in hospital. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. LINDENER stuck to the Mackenzie-Wismar Bridge one day after scores of unvaccinated employees and citizens in Region 10 who needed medical treatment were denied entrance to the Linden Hospital complex. As residents expressed their concerns over what they term mandatory vaccination, traffic across the bridge has come to a halt.
Our body, our choice! Our body, our choice! Our body, our choice! Our body, our choice!
Among those protesting are taxi drivers, speedboat operators, and minibus drivers who are now mandated to take a COVID-19 vaccine to operate. The protest is being supported by Regional Chairman Darren Adams, who says while he is in favor of vaccination, he is against the vaccine being mandatory.
Make it clear that while I support the vaccination exercise against COVID-19, while I believe it is necessary, I do not support the position taken by the administration to make it mandatory. There's a chant that nurses have been saying, nurses' rights are human rights, and I believe this is grave human rights violation.
While the government says the vaccines are not mandatory, the new COVID-19 gazetted measures prevent unvaccinated persons from accessing all government institutions in the country. Vaccinated persons must show proof of vaccination and some form of identification, while unvaccinated persons must make an appointment. Some parliamentary members of APNU and AFC were also in support of the protest, saying persons should have a choice.
Vaccinated, but that does not mean that I'm going to impose my decision on others, and I don't believe that it is right for the government to do such a thing.
Struggle continues. Comrades, you are standing for your rights. You are standing for justice. You have been on the front line serving this community, and we want to say thank you. You have been serving this community without vaccine, putting your lives on the risk every single day for the residents of this community, and by extension, every citizen of this country. And here you are, this morning, showed up early for work, and you're being denied access to your place of employment. You are being denied access to earn for your families. This is an injustice, and
Police are looking into the shocking execution-style shooting of a businessman in the capital city. Esther Sobers has more on that story.
The police are investigating the shooting death of an alleged drug dealer. He was gunned down on Regent Street at around 10:30 p.m. last evening. The dead man has been identified as 51-year-old Euclid De Silva, a businessman of Lot 23 Hatfield Street, working Ross, Georgetown, who was at the time the driver of a black Tacoma. According to reports, De Silva had just exited a popular casino in the city and was suspected to have been trailed by gunmen who opened fire, killing him on the spot and seriously injuring another man who was with him in the vehicle. The two suspects exited a white hire car, both armed with what believed to be high-powered guns, and discharged several rounds at the Tacoma before getting back into their vehicle and making an escape on east on Regent Street. De Silva was seen in a sitting position in the driver's seat of the Tacoma, while the other male was in the right front passenger seat with wounds to his face, right arm, and chest. De Silva was pronounced dead at the scene by the EMT doctor, suffering from what appeared to be 9 gunshot injuries. The body was taken to the Memorial Garden Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem examination. The other male was taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he is currently undergoing surgery. His condition is listed as critical. Efforts made to locate the suspects so far have proven futile. Investigations are ongoing. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Police are investigating an accident that occurred at the number 78 Village Quarantine Berbice around 9 p.m. on Wednesday, August 7, 2021, that claimed the life of a 16-year-old. According to the police report, the driver of motorcycle CJ 1342, 18-year-old Akhtar Noor of lot 173 Jumai Street, who is not the holder of a driver's license, was proceeding north along the public road at a fast rate of speed when he alleged that about 15 feet ahead of him, a cow ran across his path. The front of the motorcycle collided with the cow. As a result, both the driver and the pillion rider fell, receiving injuries to their bodies. They were both picked up in a conscious condition by public-spirited citizens and taken to the Skeldon Public Hospital, where they were attended to and sent away. On Friday, the pillion rider was taken back to the Skeldon Public Hospital in an unconscious condition. He was treated and referred to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital for further treatment and later transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital. He was admitted as a patient in the intensive care unit. He subsequently succumbed later that day. The body is currently at the Georgetown Public Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. Inquiries are in progress. Don't go away after the break. Captain of the stranded Trinidadian sailors sets the record straight, and Minister of Health appealing to teachers to get vaccinated.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Tastes so good. It's gotta be made with Alabama Baker wheat flour. Produced from quality soft winter wheat and quality enzymes to give a superior product that's guaranteed to be luscious, delightful to taste, and stays fresher longer. Alabama Baker wheat flour is perfect for breads, roti, puri, pastries, chow mein, pastas, and many other delights. Imported and distributed by Alabama Trading. 6566 Robb Street, Borda, and 23 Lombard Street. Telephone 225-5800.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. A Linden family is seeking the help of the public in finding 47-year-old Justin Bailey, whose last known address was Morabali Street, Linden. Family members and friends have not heard from Bailey since February of this year. Jamela Bailey, the sister of the missing man, said it is unlike her brother to go for such an extended period of time without contacting family or friends.
I'm the sister of Justin Bailey, who have not contacted anyone since February. We as family are very worried and we are pleading with the public for any help to find him. It's not like him not to contact any family members or friends, and we are very, very worried. Please, anyone with any information, or if anyone saw him or see him anywhere, please make contact with us. I'm pleading to you.
Calls to the man's cell phone, his sister noted, are forwarded straight to voicemail. Bailey began living in Georgetown in 2019 after moving from the mining town of Linden. Family members of Bailey, also known as Jussie or Koor, are asking that anyone who might have information about his whereabouts contact telephone number 660-8713-911 or the nearest police station. The family has since filed a missing persons report with the police. Yesterday, we reported on 3 Trinidadian sailors who were stranded here in Guyana, all claiming to be mistreated, threatened, and not compensated by the captain of their vessel. But today, the captain of the boat reached out to Esther Sobers to set the record straight.
I am not going to take any more blame for these guys anymore. For real. Before so, I prefer to quit my job today.
After headline news aired the plight of 3 Trinidadian men who were stranded in Guyana after allegedly not being paid their salaries, the captain of the vessel reached out to Headline News to air his side of the story. According to Captain George Dickey, he has only been in charge of the vessel for 1 month now.
These guys, when I met them on the vessel, they were never signed on that vessel. I don't know why the previous captain didn't do it, or whatever the circumstances would have been. Since I got there, I tried to make get everything regularized, that they would become members of the crew. Because even up to date, as I'm speaking here, they are not regularized as crew members. So, why that has not been done as yet is because the time I was going to get them regularized, this is the time when we had another issue where I had to visit the police station. And I was then told by one Corporal Pyle at Rumveld Police Station that I had no right in holding these 3 Trinidadians' passport, which I tried to tell him that this is a rule according to the marine laws.
According to Mr. Daniels, a previous stakeholder of the vessel, it was understood that when the vessel was transferred to the new owners were entirely liable for the crew, including any overdue payments. However, due to various disagreements and the men filing complaints at the station against Captain Dickey, the captain decided to discontinue working with the men.
He demanded that I would hand over the passports to these 3 gentlemen, of which I did in his presence and other police presence at the time. I then took the immigration documents that I was going to regularize these guys on, and I stripped it, and I threw it in the same Corporal Pyle's garbage bin, trash bin. Okay? So I said, well then, I'm through with that. Okay? These gentlemen are being fed every single day. Like I said before, and I'm saying it again, this is a list of food items that I myself purchased. I myself had to get the requisite license through the agent. I had to pay for it, $6,000, in order for these stuff to pass through the gate.
Headline News also questioned the captain about the food supplies for the men and the threats levied against his crew members.
This is you, so you're not buying any more food for them?
Because at one stage I was using my own money. Look, Mr. Alfonso could tell you, this morning I went and I paid the butcher shop.
So you can't say there weren't any food? You stopped providing food for the men?
Yes, I started with my own money. Yes.
But if they have so many rations, why would you use your own money to buy rations?
Well, the reason why is that if you keep taking a cup of water out of a tub of water, don't you expect that it would be going down at some given time? Well, this is exactly it. So when I see it is necessary, I would try to bring it up back. If monies have not arrived yet from my boss to deal with that situation, I take it on my own.
But if there's men not being fed and there's no money, what do you expect them to do?
Well, listen, what I expect them to do is to follow advice from me, which they weren't. I've been having day-to-day meetings with these guys and giving them updates as to what is transpiring between myself, the boss, on their situation, right? Now, these guys, up to now, I could say that my boss is still generous to them, that he is using his money to supply them with food and whatever.
Nevertheless, the captain noted the company will be providing plane tickets for the men to depart Guyana soon. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, is appealing to teachers to get vaccinated to protect themselves, their families, and students from contracting a severe form of COVID-19 disease. The minister made this plea at the Bel Air Primary School, where he formally launched the government's Because We Care Cash Grant Award distribution program. Minister Anthony noted that the work of the educators is important and integral to the nation's development, and therefore urged them to lead by example and get inoculated. You are among the most educated in our society. You read a lot. We depend on you to educate the next generation, and we also want you to be safe. End of quote. Minister Anthony noted the challenges of the pandemic has made the life increasingly difficult for many families. As a result, he reminded those assembled at the school that the earlier Guyana achieves herd immunity, the sooner it can return to normalcy. Quote, "We don't want any teachers to get COVID. We don't want you to be infected. We don't want you to go in no hospital. We don't want you to die from COVID. And the only way we can prevent this is to make sure that a vaccine is available to you and that you take the vaccine." End of quote. Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben today also appealed to teachers and parents to immunize themselves against COVID, even as the Because We Share Cash grant and other preparations are being made for the September reopening of schools. The minister led the distribution exercise at the Cummins Lodge Secondary School and Turkey Nursery Schools. Don't go away after the break. Brazil Congress votes against return to paper ballots, and Algeria wildfire death toll rises as 25 soldiers killed. But before that, here is the bridge retraction schedule.
Problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Brazil's Congress has voted against a return to paper ballots at next year's presidential elections. The move is a major blow for President Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro is threatening to reject next year's results unless the system is changed. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannick reports.
Armored vehicles rolled in front of Brazil's Congress as lawmakers were preparing for a crucial vote. They were debating a proposal backed by President Jair Bolsonaro to change the electronic voting system to paper ballots ahead of next year's elections. Chances of approving the constitutional amendment were already slim. The military parade made them slimmer. Bolsonaro's opponents and even some of his supporters accused the president of putting the tanks on the street to intimidate the lawmakers, and say he was threatening democracy once more.
Since the first day in power, President Bolsonaro has been progressively destroying Brazil's democracy. It was time to stop him, and we just did, by rejecting the proposal to change the voting system.
Digital ballots have been successfully used in Brazil since 1996, but Bolsonaro has repeatedly said they are not to be trusted, especially after recent polls show him losing next year's election to former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Bolsonaro's supporters took to the streets to back his unfounded claims that the 2022 presidential race will be rigged unless paper ballots are used. Congress put an end to this debate, at least for now.
Analysts here say that Bolsonaro has been following in the footsteps of former U.S. President Donald Trump by casting doubt on the elections that he may lose. And they believe he'll continue to do so. Monica Yannick of Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.
Internationally, as hospitals in the U.S. fill with patients affected by the Delta variant in mostly unvaccinated states, most children are getting admitted, but children under the age of 12 are not eligible for the shot. Al Jazeera's Patty Cloheim reports.
It's bad, and it's getting worse. The U.S. is now seeing 124,000 new COVID cases every day, the highest rate since February. And once again, hospitals are filling up. In Mississippi Monday, not a single available intensive care bed. Dozens of hospitals in Texas ran out of space, and in the entire state of Arkansas, just 8 beds left as COVID cases soar. Estefany Lopez's 11-month-old daughter in Texas had to be airlifted to find a bed, 241 kilometers away.
It was just very, very overwhelming, heartbreaking.
More and more, the cases are involving kids. Nearly 94,000 cases just last week. About 15% of the people getting sick are children.
First of all, we're sort of doing more stuff and having more contacts, and that includes kids. Unfortunately, kids under the age of 12 can't be vaccinated yet. And that means that they are more likely to get sick. We're seeing larger numbers of infections in children, and those larger numbers of infections mean that a greater number of individuals are going to be hospitalized.
The worst outbreaks are in states with low vaccination rates, like Texas and Florida. And their governors have decided right now the biggest issue is masks, ordering that people cannot be told to wear them.
And look, we can get into the efficacy of this. I mean, it's an aerosolized virus. Is a piece of cloth going to stop? We can get into all that from an engineering perspective. But I can tell you, kindergartners, everyone admits that whatever efficacy a mask could have, you have to wear it fitted properly and tight. Do you honestly think these young kids are doing that? So I don't think it's really doing much. And so as a parent, I think parents should look to say, it's doing more harm than good.
Face masks are, in fact, not harmful, and experts say they are needed to stop the spread of a virus that spreads in the air. And as schools begin to reopen, the leading infectious disease expert says they need to be in the classroom.
You should have everyone be wearing a mask. We know how that can be uncomfortable, but you'd rather have a somewhat uncomfortable situation with a well child than temporarily comfortable and a child in an ICU. That's what we want to avoid.
An ongoing political fight, but now more and more children are paying the price, with more than a third of eligible Americans still refusing to get a shot, another surge in this pandemic of the unvaccinated. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And finally, Algeria's president has announced that 25 soldiers have been killed, saving residents from the wildfires ravaging forests and villages east of the capital, adding to the fire death toll this week in the North African nation. Al Jazeera's Laura Borden-Manlett reports.
It's a desperate situation. From branches to plastic containers of water, locals are using whatever's at hand to smother the flames.
We are fighting fire to protect at least the houses. We evacuated the elderly, and we stayed, as you can see.
As you see, there are fires everywhere. We have not seen the government here. The people are acting as the government. Long live the civil protection teams.
Algeria's Kabyle region is known for its lush mountains and forests, but scorching summer temperatures have reduced the trees to kindling. It's one of 16 provinces in the North African country that's been hit by wildfires since Monday. But many villages are isolated, difficult to reach, and suffer from severe water shortages. As homes burn and cars disintegrate, many people have escaped to shelter in hotels and schools. Some soldiers sent in to help were reportedly cut off from safety by the fires and succumbed to the flames. Others badly injured with burns.
We have 3 deaths here and 4 in the other village. The hospital is full.
Algeria's President Abdelmajid Tebboune tweeted condolences to the soldiers' families. The Interior Minister has blamed arsonists for the fires, but so far hasn't provided details.
I can't tell you if we're beating the fire, but we're fighting it with all that we have.
As a thick blanket of smoke consumes Kabyle's mountains and the skies tinge amber, residents, fire crew and soldiers continue to battle the destructive force of the fires. Laura Burden-Manley, Al Jazeera.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.